I'm joined now by Pauline Hanson's Chief of Staff, that's James Ashby, and Sky News contributor Daisy Cousens. Welcome to you both. We've got a lot to get through, a little bit of time. Let's kick it off with this. China's warned House Speaker Nancy Pelosi not to visit Taiwan after the Financial Times reported she was planning a visit there in August. A spokesman for China's foreign ministry said any visit would send a gravely wrong signal. Well, Daisy, if it wasn't planned already, do you reckon they should be planning a visit right about now?
Look, this is a pretty interesting development, Cory. I mean, I think Nancy Pelosi is one of the worst people on planet Earth. But this is probably the one thing that I like about her, is that she's supportive of Taiwan and relatively tough on China. I mean, in 1991, she unfurled a pro-democracy banner in Tiananmen Square, which would have been particularly radical at the time, considering it was only a couple of years after the massacre. So, and she, remember, she was going to go in April as well and had to call it off because she got a case of COVID. So it's quite interesting and quite gutsy that she's actually still planning to go in August. And Beijing has said some really dreadful things after her visit was announced, saying, you know, she's the enemy and that they'll be very, very forceful and it could be a malicious provocation, etc. But I am glad that she's going. And look, I think, Cory, we're going to have to reach a time in the future where Western nations who make noises about supporting Taiwan but still kind of kowtow to China are going to have to choose. They're going to have to choose between the two. Certainly countries like Australia, for instance, which while politicians make noises about supporting Taiwan and supporting democracy and standing up to China in the region, but we still recognise the one China policy. I mean, that just doesn't fly, in my opinion. So I never thought I'd say this, but good on Nancy Pelosi for doing this. And I'll be interested to see what happens in the future, because I think that choice is going to have to happen.
And I never thought I'd be agreeing with someone who said good on Nancy Pelosi. But James, there's more at stake here, isn't there? If Pelosi buckles again, right, if she gets COVID again or finds some other excuse not to stand up to China over Taiwan, how can we expect the decision makers in the US to stand up for us against China if the worst happens?
China never ceased to amaze me, Cory. The truth is, this is like a bad high school breakup where China's demanding people choose sides. You can't be friends with them if you want to be friends with me. And unfortunately, Taiwan play not just a global role, and we're friends with them, not only the US but Australia, but they're an economic partner as well. They supply the componentry to a large number of car manufacturers in the United States. And what people miss is the Speaker plays a significant role in welcoming dignitaries, particularly the ambassadors in America would have a great deal to do with Nancy Pelosi. So, of course, she would have some role in dealing with Taiwan already. It's just courtesy for her to play that part in visiting Taiwan, and rolling out the red carpet to her would be an honour for Taiwan. I think too, let's not forget, there is a bit of muscle flexing here from the United States. She never backed down from an argument with Trump, and I don't think she'll back down from one with China.
Well, I hope you're right.